November general reading. I hope you are doing well. I hope your Scorpio season is abundant and blessed. Listen, I had such wonderful feedback from all of you with the extra decks that I used for the readings. If you're new here, welcome. And you're going to get some juicy energy from here. I'm feeling juicy energy. The first card I pulled for you for November, Virgo, is that of the base chakra, specifically that of family. So let's talk it out. First, where is this base chakra located? It's at the base of your spine. Let's focus on the base of our spine and make it glow that deep red so we can have some healing there. What does this base chakra represent? It represents your security, abundance, your health, your wealth, your primal needs to survive. It also represents boundaries. Are we having issues there, perhaps with our family? Because it looks like, Virgo, we are focusing specifically our base chakra with family, as it says here on the card for you. I'm also focusing on that number 5, and 5s are change and sometimes adversity. So perhaps we're having that with some of our family members, or perhaps we're starting to see some ancestral patterns in our own lives, and we're a little frustrated by that. Not to worry, Spirit said, hey, that's why I'm here. Sit down with that ancestral energy, light a candle, chat it out and say, you know what? I am not taking that karma with me. You don't have to live out that karma, Virgo. You can hand it back to your ancestors, and they're okay with that. So let's focus on that energy, not only for November, but for this reading as well. Ooh, Virgo, my arm was getting tired right there. Now, we are going to go on with your general reading. I have some other pulls from our ancestral deck, speaking of ancestors, right? And the center of your reading is that of the Magician. And I love this energy so much, especially since we just talked about letting go of karmic energies, sitting down with our ancestors and giving it back. I feel like that once we do that, this is our new start. This is a major arcana, so this means this is going to dabble, this energy is going to dabble into your energy for the next several months is what I'm feeling. You see that number 1, here's the beginning. Not only that, but 1 also represents spirit and source, right? And this is that energy of a messenger from God, a messenger from source, saying, Virgo, I got you. Not only do I have you, but I'm supplying you with everything that you need. You see, because this magician has all of the tools. He has the pentacles, the cup, the wand, and the sword. How do you plan to use those, Virgo? I feel like we're all being challenged as a collective to choose a side, right? To choose a side, to move forward or to stand still. Let's see what Spirit says for you. So let's go into your moon energy. This is where your emotions are. This is where you manifest and where you have conversations with Source. And I have that of King of Swords, Truth Seeker. I have that of the Ace of Wands, a new passionate beginning, perhaps in love and or job. And then I have that of the 8 of Wands. This is all about communication. And if you've been waiting on a message, I feel like that you're going to hear about it soon. And that's what the 8 of Swords is all about. It's quick and instant communication. And because it is coupled there with that Ace of Wands, it lets me know that fire and passion is behind it. And if we're seeking the truth, we're going to get the truth. Spirit is working on it for you in spirit. Some of you are waiting for information for perhaps a new job that you've applied for. You're going to be getting that communication, whether it's through email, text messaging. I don't know, do we do that nowadays? Do we say, hey, you got the job via text message? I'm hearing text messaging for a lot of you. I'm also hearing for a lot of you that if you are out in the workforce, clean up your social media, right? That's a really big thing now, especially for those of you who are looking to level up. right? You got to level up in those areas too. They are looking at your social media. They're looking at all of it, whether it's, TikTok, YouTube, whatever they can find. I feel like that they almost have a team because they don't want to run into hiring someone who doesn't have a good reputation out there in the social media world. Okay. Yeah, I would even go back a few years if you have to. It's not going to be one of those things where, oh, that was 10 years ago. That's no longer me. They're not going to care. You won't get the job. Listen, I'm hearing that for relationships too. So for those of you in a relationship and you get yourself a new boo and then they go through your social media and they see that you hugged up with someone else. I don't care if it was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or even if it's just a friend, but you look a little cozy, they're going to judge you for it. So if it's important to you, right? If it's important to you, then clean that stuff up. So, right, and this is all about cutting to the truth and getting to the truth, and no gray areas, right? None of those areas of, oh, that was 5 years ago, oh, that was just a friend, that doesn't mean anything to me anymore. It's not going to bode well if you want that new job, you want that new relationship. Okay, so I'm hearing clean up that social media, and we are going to be getting communication. All right, so now let's go on to your sun energy. This is your ego. This is where we see you, my dear Virgo. And you have that of the 7 of Wands, the King of Cups, and the Hierophant. So again, I'm really picking up on career for a lot of you. And I'm seeing so many different aspects. Virgo, that's what I love about you. I don't think people give you enough credit on how well you're a mutable sign. So there it is. And how many Virgos represent so many different things. Like certain signs are known for certain things. You, Virgo, you can be an attorney. You can be a singer. You can be in the military. It's like you can have all these aspects of you. You don't necessarily fit in a particular mold when it comes to like career. So that's why I feel like that this energy was pulled for you, because it means so many things, whether it's in a space of the music industry or in a space of the military industry or in the space of law enforcement or in a church, right? I feel like that all of you can so easily fit into these different positions as a Virgo. And I do feel like that some of us are really transitioning into, you've been transitioning all year. And I feel like you've been transitioning into, just been pivoting, really. There's been some other signs who've been transitioning from the caterpillar to the butterfly. You're already the butterfly. You've just been kind of going to a different kind of flower, to where your honey is now tastes like roses as opposed to sunflowers, right? I feel like that's what's been going on with you all year. It's just these small little pivots that's been going on for you. And I also see here, and typically when I get this energy in this particular corner, this is more of what you're manifesting. This is more of what you're thinking about, right? And it's really important that wherever our mind is and wherever it idles, right? That is where we manifest. So you don't have to sit down and, meditate and all that. So whatever you are constantly thinking about, if you're thinking about woe is me, or you're thinking about I have these ancestral curses, or I feel like karma is coming back to me, I feel like every relationship I'm in, it ends like this. That's what you're manifesting if you're constantly thinking about that, right? So I feel like some of us are kind of on the defense, or perhaps you're feeling like you have to be on the defense. We are going to, we're going to expand on that. So as of right now, what I'm seeing in your immediate present is that of the 2 of Cups, right? So I'm picking up on some relationships and collaborations. And then I also have that of the moon energy. And that is energy of, I'm feeling more of like, there's something about a truth that you're that's going to come out in your immediate present, right? There's some sort of truth, which is why I think it's really important that in no way, shape, or form, Virgo, that there's a gray area in regard to who you are, what you stand for, what you mean. This is why I feel like it's really important that in that social media, where people can be, the most judgmental and take things out of context, just like we can take certain emails and text messages out of context, right? Make sure that it represents who you are. Make sure it represents, you know, your frequency, or else it's going to be taken out of context and look like something else. Okay. Alrighty, my love, I am guided to talk about all of your ancestral cards. So let's talk about it. I love this energy so much, this color. So the first one I get is the guardian angel, and it says, you are not alone. So interestingly enough, we're pulling from your ancestral deck. I feel like we're doing some ancestral healing and conversations and giving them back, giving our ancestors back some of our karma, right? We just don't inherit, you know, eyes, fingers, and toes, right? We just don't inherit certain aspects of ourselves from our loved ones. We inherit those karmic things too, but the great thing, is we don't have to live them out. So you are not alone. So, you know what, and I'm seeing that some of you are actually seeing feathers in the most, you know, the craziest spaces, perhaps in the grocery store, or, you know, walking to work, going to the park, and you're, you know, and that wouldn't be a strange place. A strange place would be like in a grocery store, right? A strange place would be like in the barber shop. Something like that, to where there is not a bird around. And that's pretty much what this is representing. It's representing Source saying, I am here with you. You are not alone. I'm listening to your prayers. I'm listening to your cries, and you are protected. And then I also have the medicine guardian. Be open to healing information. And I love this too, because I also feel like that some of these messages that we're going to be receiving today, Virgo, some of you are going to take it in a way of like, but be open. Be open. That's how we're going to get to that part of cleansing. And we're going to get through that adversity. And we're going to get through those challenges where we're still just getting over that hump. And what's so fabulous about this too, is that this isn't something you can depend on from someone else. You have this medicine guardian inside of you. And last but not least, with this tired arm of mine, I have that of the stargazer. Set your sights high. Virgo, I feel like this is you because, you know, Virgos, you are born into this, I want to be of service to everyone else, right? And sometimes you forget about you. You forget about your light. You forget about your dreams. You forget about what is it I wanted to do as Virgo. Virgo, it does not take what you want to do from anyone else if you focus on you, right? If you put your star a little bit higher than someone else, doesn't mean that you don't care about them, doesn't mean you love them any less, and doesn't mean that you love yourself more. It just means you are important too, okay? All right, my Virgo. Ooh, I love that energy. You know what? I just want to hold these colors up. They're so like, right? Look at that. It's so earthy, just like that earth sign that you are. And it's so relaxing and comforting. I hope you're receiving comfort from it. Okay, so let's expand on your moon energy, my dear Virgo. Let's see here. We're going to expand on that King of Swords. Wow. Oh gosh, this energy is just so, it's just so delicious. It's so delicious. So I expanded on that King of Swords. And we have that of the, what is this? The Six of Swords. And I love this energy. So again, if you were feeling a little anxious, I'm feeling like it's more anxiety, and I feel like it's self-imposed anxiety, right? You're kind of thinking about your future, you're thinking about your past, you're thinking about, you know, what's my next move? And some of you, there's not a lot of certainty there, right? So this is a message that you may not know for sure what the next move is, the next place is, the next job is, right? The next whatever. But just know that whatever the next is, it's smoother waters. And it's going to be smoother waters for a long, long time. You see, because these challenging waters, they disappear the further you go out to those smoother ones. Right? And look at this mother who's protecting her child, and this man is also protecting them because he put these swords around them to say, hey, I got you. So we just have a little bit more, just a little bit longer, Virgo, before you know what the next move is, because we already see some truth is about to appear, right? And then I have that of the high priestess. And when she shows up in your moon energy, right, it's kind of like, Cinderella showing up to the ball. Now we can begin, right? So again, this is another message of truth being revealed. This is another message of, your rest of your life, the rest of your path, right? Once we decide to give that karma back, you see that scroll that she's holding that had your life path in it, it's being rewritten. So it's no more of strife and struggle and defeat. It's being rewritten, right? But one thing I'm learning as I go on my spiritual journey, right, is that it takes some work. Like we have to meet spirit halfway, right? And it's not like physical work. It's work of really just love. That's where you start, right? That's where you start. And we can start right at that base chakra, Virgo. Now, I expanded on that 8 of Wands. I have that of the 10 of Wands, and that's of the 10 of Cups. So this is really the 10 of Cups represents like everything is going good, right? I don't feel anxious. I don't feel tired. I feel just right. I don't feel jittery. I don't feel nervous. I feel just right. And that's soon coming after, all this struggle, all these burdens that, let's just face it, Virgo, you've been handling, right? And I can see it because he's handling those 10 wands. He's not dropping them. They're not dragging. They're at least 3 to 4 feet off the ground. It may look like he's bent over. That's because he's balancing it. You've been balancing it. And you are going to get to that comfort zone. Spirit is working on it for you. You're manifesting it, right? You're manifesting it. Now, I did the Bill Cosby. Ooh, okay, so I guess Spirit didn't like that little joke. So I expanded on the Ace of Wands, and I got that of the 3 of Cups and the Ace of Cups. Look at that. So we're moving forward to a wonderful collaboration. We're going to love what we're doing. It's going to be filled with passion and love and desire, right? Whatever it is that you're heading towards, you're going to love it. You're going to love the people who, these are going to be like your people. It's like, oh my gosh, we have the same ideals. We have the same morals, right? And even though we're, as a country, as a world, we're like on that shut down and let's not get together and let's do our social distancing, right? There is still going to be this sense of community. Okay, let's expand on your sun energy and see what we get there. And if Virgo is your ascending sign, you may even pick up on some delicious messages in your sun section of this reading. And look at you, Virgo. You show right on up. Yeah. So for sure. So there has been some anxiety. I can see it. You know what? I want to expand one more. Yeah. Okay. So there's definitely some change that is happening that you've been thinking about. So I expanded on that 7 of Wands. And I got that of I'm gonna do it in order that it came out, and that is the Hermit. I want to say, and it is the Virgo. It's the Hermit, along with the 10 of Pentacles and the Tower. So we are going to have this shakeup, and perhaps you have had this shakeup that kind of brought you to this this anxious energy. So I don't know if all of a sudden you have to move, or all of a sudden you have a new job, or all of a sudden there was a breakup, or all of a sudden you have a relationship, right? Towers are not always a destruction. They're not always an explosion. Sometimes it's just a big doggone change. And I feel like that's more so for you, is it just there has been this big change in your life, and perhaps it was even happening somewhere in September. I'm feeling like I'm seeing 9/9, somewhere around there. And perhaps it was September 2009. I don't know. But the energy I'm picking up on is whatever that change was that set you into a different direction. It's been on your mind, and you feel like that somehow it has affected your legacy, right? And I feel like that the energy I'm getting is that you feel that you've been fighting to just keep your head above water. Okay, so now I expanded on that. Yeah, I expanded on that Hierophant, right? And I have that of the 5 of Pentacles, another 5 for us, along with Judgment. And I love this energy because some of us have made a definite decision, right? Based on these feelings. Based on these feelings of feeling, abandoned, feeling emotionally bankrupt, like I just had enough. Like I've had enough. And you walked away from it. I'm so proud of you, Virgo. Because by the time a Virgo walks out and walks away, that means, everything was done. Every chance was given, right? So by the time you walk away, that judgment is what shows up. And the reason it shows up is because it's you gave everything. They can't come to you and say, you know what, Virgo, you didn't try. It's like, not only did I try, I gave you all of me plus some. So by the time you leave, you leave this emptiness behind because they took you for granted, really. That's what I'm feeling. Oh, but what I'm loving about this judgment energy, Virgo, another major arcana, right? And there with the Hierophant, is that it's a new you. You have this new breath. You have this new air, right? And it's such a subtle change that people are going to notice, but it's going to be this, you're really going back to that earth grounded energy. I feel like you've been anxious for a little bit and you haven't quite been yourself, but I feel like it's going to start smoothing out here for you. You're going to start relaxing into the decisions that you made, right? So now when I expand on that King of Cups, the most, and you know what, this King of Cups doesn't have a worry in the world, right? Which kind of piggybacks off of that energy, right? Look at him. He's on a block of cement in the middle of the ocean. Even though the ocean is rapid, does he look worried? He doesn't have a care in the world. That's you, Virgo, right? Now expand on that. We have the Queen of Wands. I love that energy. The 9 of Swords. You're a Virgo. And the Lover's energy here. So what I'm seeing right away, and I love, I like for you to see this spread, this anxiety that you're having. And I feel like, because you have that queen and you have that king, and typically that's, I feel like it's a couple. And perhaps some of us are having some anxiety over a current relationship. And I feel like it's just anxiety, right? I don't feel like there's anything really there. I'll expand on this to see if I see anything. But I do feel like the communication is going to assist us here if there's anxiety, right? Because I'm picking up on that Gemini energy there for you as well. But some of you Virgos, I'm feeling like the energy that's being encouraged for you is that of that king that's calm, cool, and collected, but of that queen, that fire energy, right? And she's my favorite queen. She's that devil wears Prada queen. She is okay with being authentic. When she communicates, everyone understands and listens. When she shows up to the room, everyone stops, looks, and watches. So I do feel like a lot of eyes are going to be on you, and I know you hate that, which is why we're probably picking up on that 9 of Swords there as well. It's going to bring you a bit of anxiety, that attention. Ooh, I'm getting it out, Virgo. So I'm picking up a lot of things there that's showing up in your sun energy. And perhaps we're dealing with a water sign, right? Or perhaps your moon sign is a water sign, which would be a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. And we are in Scorpio season. And or perhaps you're dealing with a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Okay? Oh, I wanted to expand on that. Yeah. So I expanded on this spread. right? I expanded on this spread here. So perhaps that's why we're having a bit of anxiety. Perhaps something ended. And sometimes it's not an ending, right? Because not all of us Virgos are going through an ending in our relationships. Perhaps it was an ending in how we treated them. Perhaps it was an ending on how they treated us. By the way, your base chakra is all about creating boundaries. Perhaps you said, you know what? I know you're used to me being this certain Virgo. And perhaps you're used to stomping all over me, so you thought. But no more. Here's my boundary. What do you say? Right? So I feel like with some of us, it's that too. It's not necessarily an ending. It's an ending of how I'm being treated. And perhaps someone approached you, Virgo, and said, hey, Virgo, by the way, I don't feel very, loved when you come at me like this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I love you. I didn't mean it that way. I'm changing. So perhaps that's what happened too, my dear Virgo. Okay? Be open to healing messages. Okay? All right. So let's expand on your immediate present. Just want to expand on that, Spirit. Thank you. All right, so some of us are definitely moving. I just keep getting that. So whether we're moving overseas or whether I feel like it's overseas. I do. I feel like some of us are actually moving overseas, or you're moving over a lake, or you're moving over some sort of water, right? You're moving to the other side of the lake. Definitely, I feel that for sure. So when I expand on that Two of Cups, I have this of the Page of Cups, the Three of Swords, along with the Ace of Pentacles, right? So some of us who are perhaps moving overseas or moving over the lake, or you asked your boo thing and said, hey, you want to come? And they're like, nope, I like where I am. And perhaps you're just going to miss them, and maybe they couldn't come, right? Maybe it just wasn't a plain old like, no, I don't want to come. Maybe it was, I can't come. And whatever the case, this movement here is going to be more prosperous for you. It's going to be more money. It's a new job. It's a new home. It's a new car. So I feel like whatever this offer is, although there is some disappointment, although there's some, it's bittersweet, it is going to be a more prosperous, secure position for you. I keep going back to that base chakra. That's all about security. It's all about your primal needs, right? And they're being met in your immediate present. And then when I expanded on that of the moon, I have that of the Page of Swords and the Star. So this is, it's the beginning stages of a new thought process. Right? And it's also the beginning stages of that healing after that tower and that death, right? And we have the Judgment that's, and we have the Hierophant that's all, and the Lovers and the Hermit. Like there's so many energies in your immediate present that's going to be going on for the next few months for you, right? And I feel like in this move, like I see you actually, getting in a car and packing up stuff, and the Hermit energy is also represents that too, packing up and moving on. So through this, I don't want to say it's a transition. It's more of a physical transition and not so much a spiritual one. I'm seeing it's more of a physical one. So during this transition, you're going to start having, it's in the beginning stages of that. Let's say that. Okay. So when I expand on that Magician, I have that of the Eight of Cups, the Strength energy, and the Five of Swords. So another five, right? So obviously there's going to be some change, and that's all it is. And that's why that Strength card showed up. And it's about courage, right? And that courage is moving past and beyond your fear. You can't tell me that this queen here is not afraid to put her hand in that lion's mouth. It required courage. So all Spirit is doing is encouraging you to pull on that courage, that inner warrior, right? Because that's what a warrior is. A warrior taps into that energy that moves beyond fear, right? That fear of uncertainty. And this is the second energy that I've gotten for you, of you moving to a much more secure direction emotionally, physically. Things are just going to start smoothing out. So this is just a message of you can hold your head high, and you can know moving forward into November. And this is going to affect you, Virgo, for the next several months. So I wouldn't be surprised if your reading was pretty similar next month, right? as you're going through this, just tap into that base chakra, tap into source, have a chit chat with your ancestors, because this next move is going to be a smooth one. So don't worry. All right, my love. I hope that was juicy for you. That felt so juicy for me. I want to thank you for that energy. It was delicious. All right. Now we're going to choose an angel card, and this is another energy that we want to tap into for November for you and see what that is. And we have that of gratitude. I love this energy. As a matter of fact, once upon a time, I was having a very stressful time. My attitude was stank, and it was for no reason. And I remember going to a friend like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just seem grumpy for no reason. Life is good. My kids are good. Love life is awesome. Finances is, wonderful. And he turned to me and he said, anytime I feel that way, the first thing I do is focus on gratitude. It shifted my world. It's like my whole frequency from then on has vibrated differently in such a way that it's comforting. And that's what we're talking about for you, Virgo, is bringing that comfort of everything's going to be all right. So focus on that gratitude, the things that you are grateful for. I'm telling you, it's going to change your whole world. Listen, I absolutely adore you. Be on the lookout for a more extensive reading for your chakra card, because I'm going to read just, basically from the book, because I just want you to know it word for word. So be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, I'm going to see you next month. If this resonated with you and you want to see me next month, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. I absolutely adore you.